Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Friday, January the 3rd, 2025. Welcome back to my Flosstube channel, or welcome if this is your first time, or if you're newish, welcome. I hope that you like what I have to share. I have a lot of different cross-stitch projects, full coverage, smalls, samplers, fancy ladies, all that jazz, and I work on a lot of stuff over the course of a week. So it's little bits of progress, but over time, it adds up. So I do Monopoly, I do temperature stitching, I do cross stitching to the Great British Bake Off show. I have full coverage focused to 1%, non-full coverage to get to 4,000. New starts galore. It's all the things, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of chaos, but it's a lot of fun. All you have to do is watch. I'm the one who has to track the madness. So on that note, let's go ahead and show my board. Here's my board. So I had what, 11, 17, 18 plus 5, 23 projects to work on. I got to work on all of them, so that's exciting. Not gonna lie, today is Friday and I did have to work on one of them today. Oh my goodness, did you hear that? That was one of my cats. I did have to work on one of my projects today just so I could have this board filled. So I did that before I started filming. I also got a finish. My finish was actually in December. It was over the weekend, but I got one last finish in before the end of the year. Oh, and I do have, for anyone not new, I do have in my possession Yippee-Ki-Yay, fully finished. I'll have to get that. This video, there's going to be breaks and coming back because usually it's like chaos everywhere. Stuff is piled up all over the place. And so tonight I decided to, I was hoping to grab Gracie. Tonight I decided to just kind of do it in bits and pieces to try to stay a little bit more organized. So I'll have to grab that during one of my little breaks. Oh, there was her tail. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the stitching. Okay, so the first thing we will go over is Monopoly. So I play Monopoly, I cross stitch to Great British Bake Off, I do temperature stitching, I have non-full coverage pieces that I have a goal for, I have full coverages that I have a goal to get to 1%, new starts all over the place, my big huge project that I'm using for Bake Off, all that jazz. So Monopoly, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I already said. So my pieces are still going around the board for the first time. So my house rules, when we play normal Monopoly at home, you don't get to purchase properties the first time around so that we're not all piled on top of each other, all landing on the same stuff repeatedly. I like to try to spread the pieces out a little bit. So first time around the board, all of my pieces are just doing 100 stitches on whatever they land on until they pass go, and then they will be able to start purchasing properties. So the cat, we'll start with the cat. The cat was in jail and rolled doubles and got out, so I had to modify when they roll doubles to get out, because normally you just roll doubles and you just get out of jail and then you get to go on your next turn. We're not doing that here. What they do is they roll doubles, they go the number of places the doubles say, and then they just, whatever they land on, that's it. They don't get to roll again. So the cat rolled doubles, got out of jail, and landed on St. James Place. And since it's still the cat's first time around the board, it just did 100 stitches. Ah, I dropped my bag. I just did 100 stitches on the St. James Place whip, which is a Teresa Winsler. This was a set of 2 patterns, but this is the one that I currently have started. It is called, I'm calling it well, yeah, it's called Unicorn. It's Peacock and Unicorn, but it's the Unicorn. So this just needed 100 stitches, And I mean, it's a pretty small piece. Hold on. Let me go over the information first. I do not know what the count is. Hang on. It is 126 by 90, and it's pretty small. Like if you do it on 18 count fabric, it will fit into a 5x7 frame. I am not doing it on 18 count fabric, so it will not fit into a 5x7 frame. I'm doing it on a 28 count fabric in the color, I think it's Summer Sky by Witch Alt. I believe it's an even weave. I'm not the biggest fan of Witch Alt fabric, honestly, but I had it from like many moons ago and it fit. So I'm doing it 2/2 with the called for DMC, which is a very large mixture of blends. And oh my goodness, I dropped my fabric. And that is where I'm at now. So got my 100 stitches in. I'm still working in the trees up in the upper left-hand corner. And the unicorn's horn, I think, goes in right about here, and the head. No, I want to say, hang on, where's my, because I'm getting close to where the unicorn is. Okay, so this section right here, right? Yes. This little kind of almost V shape right here is the unicorn's ear. Yes, and on the other side of this right here, yep, I was right. The horn of the unicorn will go up into this area. So that's exciting. But I'm really enjoying it so far. It's turning out really nice. It looks like absolutely nothing when you're working on it, and then when you kind of like sit back and take a look, it's like, oh wait, no, those are trees. Like you can see the trunks and everything. You don't really notice it when you're just stitching it. It just looks like blobs of color that look like nothing. And then you step back and you're like, oh, those are tree trunks. That makes a lot more sense now. So there was that. And then it was the dog's turn. The dog, I swear to God. Okay, so the dog rolled doubles and landed on North Carolina. And North Carolina was Mr. Cardinal. It was still the dog's first time around the board. So this, hang on. So this was just going to be 100 stitches, but Mr. Cardinal is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio, and the artwork is by Dempsey Essick. It is 190 by 317. It has 86 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I really like this piece. It's a lot of black in the background, but I really like this piece a lot. I've actually seen this finished by somebody else, and it turned out really, really good. So I am doing this 1/1 full cross on a, I think this might be a 28 count. I think it's a 28 count, easy count Lugana. And that is where I'm at with it. So this got 100 stitches. I am now sitting at a total of 1,305 stitches out of 60,230. I am at 2.17%. And this was an upper left-hand corner start. So there's that. So the dog had rolled doubles, so it rolled again, and it landed on Chance and Chance was advanced to Boardwalk. So I advanced to Boardwalk, and the advanced to Boardwalk card said advance to Boardwalk and do 200 stitches. Boardwalk is the Stitcher's Paradise Sal from, it's by Doreen Jones, and it was in the World of Cross Stitching magazine from 2020. This was their Sal from, I think, 2023 or 24. No, I think it was this year. I think it was 2024. So that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm currently in part 1, which is the needles up here. That's my photo got cut off. I kind of screenshot the cover photo and then printed it from my phone, so it got cut off. There's a flower border going across the top too. But I'm in part 1 currently. So I am doing this with the called for DMC on a 28. Hold on, I have the sticker here. I feel like this fabric is way bigger than what it needs to be. But I'm not worried about that right now. 28 count Lugana, opalescent Lugana. Now I lost my stitching. I lost where I was working. Here we go. Okay, call for DMC 2/2 on a 28 count white opalescent Lugana. And that is where I'm at with it now. So I finished all of the cross stitching in the top part of the little needle book thingy here, and I did some of the back stitching. I didn't back stitch this part down here because there's going to be stuff that goes right here, but I did, the flower border extends out that way, but that's where it stops for part 1. So I finished the back stitching and the top part for the most part. There's like another leaf here that needs to be back stitched, and the rest of this button. But yeah, and I had this gray color on my thread, so I went ahead and did that too. But this got 200 stitches. So yeah, there's that. Yantina, over at Yantina Stitches, I want to say that she was doing this. I think she might have finished it. I think she might have finished hers. So go look at her past videos if you want to see it. Let's see. Okay. So that was the second time the dog had rolled doubles, and it was at Boardwalk. And I was so excited because the next roll, it was going to pass go, and I was going to be able to start buying properties. And so the dog rolled a third time and got doubles again for the third time, which means that the dog went to jail. So my piece for jail, when you land in jail, you have to do 200 stitches. And my piece for that is Rocky Point. This is a Dimensions Gold collection. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is one of my whips of shame. And my whip of shame is projects, well, my current one technically doesn't meet this criteria. But that's neither here nor there. Projects that are over 10 years old. But anyway. So this piece got 200 stitches on it. And I put them all in the house that's next to the lighthouse here. I put them all in the house right there. What I would like to do as this continues to get worked on for the next however many stitches are left in the goal is I want to keep working on the house and maybe try to get the house and the immediate stitches surrounding it and back stitch it. So at least that part's done, because I mean, there's back stitching in the rocks, but it's like most of the back stitching is, I think, here and here. I haven't really like looked too hard at it. I don't know, but I've definitely learned with dimensions kits that I have to backstitch as I go, or else it won't get done for years and years. Like that one right there. That one, Glory of Autumn, I finished the cross stitching in 2017. I finished the backstitching in 2023. So anyway, I keep it in this project bag that my mom made me right here. She doesn't sell them. She just makes me project bags. So I love them. Okay, so the dog landed in jail. I had to do stitches on the jail piece. So then it was the duck's turn, and the duck landed on free parking. So when you land on free parking, you do 300 stitches on, well, I do 300 stitches on the free parking piece. And my free parking piece is, which I was excited about, is Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. This is by Rosewood Manor. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm currently in the top area up here because this was like a new start this last year. Well, last year. We're in 25 now. This is one of 3 pieces that I have to do some frogging. 3 pieces I figured out this week I need to frog. So that's fun. Okay. So this piece got 300 stitches, and what I was going to say is I'm excited to work on it because I got the rest of the thread that I needed, and which means that I could go back and start filling in the colors that I had to leave like basically blank. So I got 300 stitches on this, and I feel like it's kind of shadowy. Hang on. Let's see if I can. I don't know if that's going to help. That does not help. One second. Let me fiddle with this light here. Does that help? I don't know. It looks different. It looks different when I'm filming on my phone. Like when I go back and watch it, it looks better. So I guess I'm going to have to roll with it. And if it's a little dark, oh well. You can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so the part that I have to frog is actually this yellow right here from this. I realized, when was it? I think when I was right about here. Or maybe it was when I was doing the word autumn right there. I think that's when I realized that that actually was started in the wrong spot. So I have to pull that out. The rest of it's right though. But I'm doing this 2/2 with the called for fancy floss on a 32 count cream Lugana. And the called for floss is a bunch of Weeks Dye Works. Give me 1 second, I'll show you what the colors are. Ah, man. There we go. Let's see if I can do it like this. Let me fold this so I got blank fabric. So these are the called for threads here. They're all Weeks Dye Works. I'm not going to talk about each one individually. I'm just going to point out that I think that the one that I think my favorite one, I will talk about this one. My favorite one is this color right here. This one is called, what's it called? Noel. And it's a blend of, it goes from like red to orange to yellow to green. I'm not sure how good you're going to see that because like I said, I feel like my lighting is not the greatest, or maybe it's just the angle I'm looking at it when I'm standing up. I don't know. But this is my favorite floss out of all of them. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's stitched. Let me kind of get this pulled back up. So like this leaf right here and this, whatever they are, leaves. These two were stitched with Noel. You see how it kind of changes color and goes from like green to yellow to red to orange. That's the variegated thread. The other stuff, it kind of goes from like light to dark. Like over here, this is one color right here. But yeah, that Noel is probably my favorite one. And I feel like it's hard to see right now. I should probably purchase better lighting. But that is for another day. Today we will deal with the bad lighting. Although I say that and my video will probably turn out fine because it does that every time. I always bitch about the lighting. And then when the video actually like gets edited and plays back, I'm like, oh, you can see it just fine. So anyway, so that got 300 stitches. I hope I said that already. And then the last Monopoly piece was the penguin. And the penguin landed on Kentucky. And it is still all of their first time around the board. So all of these, so this also got 100 stitches. This is Poltergeist Pirates. I'm keeping it in a bag that my mom made me and gave me for Christmas. This was in my Advent box that I showed in my, almost said whip parade. It felt like a whip parade. It was so long. In my last update. Yeah, the one the day after Christmas. She made me some project bags and they were in my Advent box. So, Poltergeist Pirates I was keeping in like the Ziploc bag that the pattern came in. And I was like, you know, let's upgrade this. So this is by Glendon Place. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am using all the things. I got the button pack when I purchased the pattern. And then one of my subscribers sent me the thread pack, the Rainbow Gallery thread pack. I haven't gotten to use these yet. I haven't come across it. There's also a glow-in-the-dark Petite Silk Lame. And then these are the buttons. And I'm using the called for fabric. I had to think about that for a minute. It is a 28 count. I forgot. 28 count casual linen in the color Bang by the Crosswing Collection. So this got 100 stitches. I'm doing it 2 over 2. Where did that come from? Okay. Random thread hanging. Okay. So I'm doing it 2 over 2 with the call for threads and my 100 stitches. I worked on Mr. Bones up here. I got his little skeleton wing completed. All of the white part of him is done. I just need to, and then I had my backstitch thread hanging from his hat. So I went ahead and continued on with the backstitching. Regarding him, the only thing on him that's left besides backstitching is his other foot. And then what I'll probably do is I'll backstitch the legs, but I'll leave the feet until I get the little post, whatever this thing is called. That part there that goes across, that right there, that goes across. I'll get that stitched and then I'll backstitch his feet with it. So got 100 stitches on him. That's everything that I have so far. So that's cool. I am backstitching as I go with this piece as well. Cheryl, the designer behind Glendon Place, she actually recommends it. So she's like, don't say, she literally says in the like the instructions, she was like, don't save the backstitching for last. Okay, so that got 100. Yay. I love that piece. Okay. So that was it for Monopoly stitching. Next up, let's go over the temperatures. Okay. So temperatures. My temperature stitching, I took this idea from Siski over at Siski Stitches, what she was kind of doing with her temperature stitching, and then I adapted it to what would work for me. A lot of people are jumping on this and doing it, and I am so excited. Every time I hear another Flosstuber say, I'm gonna do the temperature stitching, I'm like, ha ha, got another one. So what I do is I assigned 10 projects to the numbers 0 through 9. I look at the projected temperatures, and because I need to know ahead of time what I'm going to stitch on, because there are days where I have a lot of time to stitch and there are days where I can barely get a couple hundred stitches in. So the days that I have a lot of time to stitch, I try to knock things out left and right. That way it's okay if I have days where I only get like 100 or 200 stitches in. So I look at the projected temperatures for the highs, and this year I'm doing the highs and the lows. I take the second digit. So for example, on the 27th, it had a projected high of 84 degrees, and because I live in Florida. And so I take the project that I assigned to the number 4, and I do 100 stitches. There are some people, let me think. Stitching Mommy is doing this as well. She is looking at the previous day's temperature, and she is doing 30 minutes on that assigned piece. I think Stuart over at Stuarts and Stitches, he's, oh, I think I spoiled it. Darren at Dizzy Stuart's gonna start doing it too. Sorry, it's Stuart. Darren at Dizzy Stitcher, he's doing 100 stitches on his. I'm not sure. I think he's looking at projected temperatures too. Jessie Marie over at Jessie Marie's Does Stuff. She's doing hers a little bit differently. She is doing like a whip is assigned to 2 numbers. So she has 5 projects, and that way she can get more work. And I think she's doing 100, but she's got 1 whip assigned to 2 numbers. So a lot of people doing it, a lot of different adaptations of it, but I'm doing projected highs and projected lows. My high temperatures are whips that I picked to be in the temperature stitching. My low projects, so I have 20 projects total, 10 for high, 10 for low. My low projects are viewer's choice. So I had a video up a few weeks ago having you guys vote between 2 projects per number. And so the winners, we kicked that off this week. Was that this week? I think this week. No, 2 weeks ago. We kicked it off. So we are going to, so as things need to be replaced, you guys will get to vote on the replacements. That's exciting. So we're going to go over the high temperatures first. So the first one up is the one that is assigned to the number 0, which is Hot Cocoa Gnome. And this temperature came up, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is from cuteboardery.com. And this temperature came up one time on the 29th. It was a projected high of 80 degrees. And so this got 100 stitches. I'm doing it, I did do some color changes, but honestly, it was the reds that I changed. I don't remember what I changed it from and what I changed it to. I mean, I know what I changed it to. I can just look in Pattern Keeper, but I don't remember what the original colors were. Unless I sit there and like kind of painstakingly look at the pattern, figure out what the reds are. I ain't doing all that. I did do some color changes though. So if anyone purchases this Hot Cocoa Gnome and you're not liking what the reds are, just let me know and I will let you know what I changed my reds to. But this is where I'm at with it now. So other than the reds, did I change the candy cane white as well? I might have changed the white in the candy cane. I really don't remember. But anyway, I got 100 stitches on it. And my 100 stitches were over here. I was going to go up here and continue on the hat, but when I had pulled it, when I showed it in my plans, I was like, oh, I should probably come down here because the beard and the whipped cream on top of the hot cocoa were all like whites and creams. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to be really kicking myself if I save that for the end. So I came down here, started working on the whipped cream that's on the hot cocoa cup. And as I was figuring out where I was going to start this, I realized why I stopped working on the hat brim and I moved up here because this is not quite correct. It is over just a little bit too far. But I think I can fudge it. I don't think I need to rip anything out because it's literally just over 1 stitch too far. I think I'll just take the red that's in the border right here and I'll just bring it up and kind of go from there. So no big deal. I kind of based my whipped cream start off of where it lines up with this because I know this is right. So I lined it up with that and went on my merry way. So this is not one of the other projects I have to frog. I'm not frogging this. I'm gonna fudge it and fix it. So there's that. So this is now, because I do have this in Pattern Keeper. This is now sitting at 1,776 stitches completed out of 5,627. I am at 31.56%. So that was temperature 0. And then temperature number 1. Temperature number 1 came up once on January the 1st. We had a projected high of 71 degrees. And that one is Artist's Kitchen. This was number 2. We all already knew about the frogging issue I have with this one. But Artist's Kitchen is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by, mispronouncing his name, Jacek Jurka. I got the Max Color version. I cannot find it in Pattern Keeper now. I deleted a couple pieces that I had completed and it totally messed up my order of where I mentally kind of knew where the pieces were, like what column they were in. But this is 450 by 406 and it has 238 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And so this came up once, and so I just needed to do 100 stitches. I was working on this one last night really, really late. Like it was my last project before bed. And I wanted to try to throw in 100 stitches very quickly on it. So I'm doing it with the Call for DMC on a 20 count non-gridded Aida. And this is why I jacked it up. But anyway, my 100 stitches I did in the black. I did like 20, 40. I want to say I did like 73 stitches in the black there. And then I did some colors over here. I was working in some of the part threads and I kind of worked 30 stitches over there. But for anyone who does not know about, let me get my hands out of the way. I'm like, this is where I worked. See where I worked? But anyway, I did some of the black down here because there's like a crap ton of black. And I did some stitches over here. So it's going to be hard to see. This will be a lot easier to see my progress when I complete my goal on this. And I can show you a before and after of 2,000 stitches. But if you are not familiar with this, my frogging issue, this was the center of that window. And I had it going up and across, and I was all kinds of excited. And then as I was working on this a little bit more, I realized that this entire thing is supposed to be, hang on, let me figure out where it was. So this entire window frame right here was supposed to be over here. So I didn't pick any out this week, but I got to pick all this out right here because it's supposed to be 5 stitches over that way. That is not something I can fudge. So I am now sitting at, in Pattern Keeper, I took those stitches out. So this is not including these. I am now sitting at 2,318 stitches done out of 182,696. I am at 1.27% complete. So there is that. Okay. Next up is the temperature number 3. And this came up one time on the 28th. We had a projected high of 83 degrees. And the project assigned to temperature number 3 is Cherry Blossom. This is by Blue Fox Stitchery on Etsy. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am stitching this with Alara, who, by the way, if you didn't notice, posted 6 videos in like over the course of 24 hours. She posted her Stitchopoly game, which is so badass. Let me finish showing this. She posted her Stitchopoly game, which is super badass. I am so excited to watch her progress with that. I was really tempted to pick one of my other whips that's not in my current thing to try to play along as a token. And I was like, then I kind of sat back and I thought about it. I was like, I've got so much shit going on. I really can't be doing that. I'm super disappointed about that though, because I really want to play. And then she posted a 4-part whip parade. And then she posted her first round of Monopoly. So, okay. Cherry Blossom. I'm doing this with the called for DMC 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count, like, I don't know, cream colored linen. I'm not really a big fan of linen per se, but I had this in my stash and the project fit on it. So I said, why not? And that is where I'm at with it. So I did 100 stitches on it in that diagonal, of course. So I'm doing it I did an upper right hand corner start because I'm doing it tent stitch. I prefer going upper right hand to bottom left with tent stitches because of the direction that my stitches go in. I feel like it does not show lines as much, like doing it in diagonal like that, doing it from this direction. So I got my 100 stitches in. It's turning out really pretty. I mean, it's just background right now, but that's okay. I am now sitting at 3,111 stitches completed out of 83,325, and I am at 3.73%. So there is that. I need to upgrade the bag because I have a lot of bags now. Because my mom made me some project bags, and I had also gotten some of the more of the Amazon bags, so I need to switch this out to not a Ziploc. Okay, next up is the one assigned to temperature number 4. That came up on the 27th with a high of projected of 84 degrees. That is my Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure from Cunning Cross Stitch on Facebook. This pattern is no longer available. I only have a photo of or a mock-up, I guess, of the parchment outlines because it is a choose your own adventure. So every chapter within that is going to be different. I am doing this 3 times. I'm doing it once for myself and then once for each of my kids. So the one that's in the temperatures is my youngest son's. And I'm doing it with the called for threads on a 16 count ivory Aida. He was enjoying playing video games with his friends this week because they were out of school. So my stitches, because I have the patterns on my computer, my stitches ended up, the only patterns I have printed that I can work off of as paper are the parchment outlines. So that's where I worked. So I ended up doing 100 stitches in, what chapter is that? Chapter 5? No. What chapter is that? Oh, chapter 6. I did 100 stitches in the dark brown of the chapter 6 outline right there. And yeah. So he's in the Slytherin house. So this will end up being the Slytherin flag right here. And this will be a Hogwarts crest. But like I said, that is on my computer. I probably could, especially now that Pattern Keeper, especially now that Pattern Keeper has updated where it recognizes fractional stitches. It just doesn't recognize like colored symbols, so I would probably have to manually enter those colors in. I don't know, because there's like placement dots and all that. I don't know. But anyway, so I don't really have a percentage done on that because I'm working off of paper. But yeah, I got 100 stitches on that. Okay, let me put this over here because that bag's really big. Okay, next up is the one for temperature 5. And this one is came up twice. On the 31st, the projected high is 75, and on January 3rd, which is today, projected high of 65. This is White Tiger Ghost. It is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Jeremy Paul. It is 300 by 300. This is a crop of a larger piece. Has 59 colors. Boop. So this was, this needed 200 stitches. I'm doing it with the Call for DMC on a 14 count ivory Aida that I had in my stash. Did I need it to be this big? No. Why is it this big? Because I had fabric and it fit. That's why. Okay, so this got 200 stitches. And this is where I'm at with it. However, I was working up here, right? So I was working up here. This is where the 200 stitches that I'm counting, this is where they all were, was in this area up here. I was all kinds of excited. I was like, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to work on filling in this eye. See the blue right there of that eye? And I was all kinds of excited. And then I get to this color right here, and I had to go down a couple stitches, and I realized that the stitch that was supposed to go below this was not lining up with these. It was not lining up in the right spot. And it took me a few minutes to realize that my jumping off point for the blues in the eye were these stitches right here, and they are in the wrong spot. So I have to frog all the blue, and I have to figure out where this was going and fix that. So this is this is project number 2 that I have to do, no, project number 3 that I have to do frogging on. So that's fun. So I went ahead and frogged them in Pattern Keeper so that they weren't counting towards my overall stitch count. But yeah, it was like 40 stitches I had to frog. I was so irritated. But anyway, I am now sitting at 5,000 stitches exactly completed out of 90,000, and I am at 5.56%. So if this gets called in I haven't looked at temperatures for the upcoming week. If it gets called, then this weekend I will probably try to work on frogging those stitches out. Where'd my bag go? Oh. Okay. So that was number 5. Then the next one is temperature number 7 on the 2nd, had a projected high of 67. And this one, so this came up once. This is Patchwork Quilt Room. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, artworks by Ciro Marchetti. I got the Marchetti, I don't know, however you say his name. Everyone says it different. I got the max color version. It's 700 by 490, has 238 colors. I'm doing the full thing. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Stitching Mommy bought the smaller size, the cropped, and then she's cropping it even further so that she just has like, that right there. But I'm doing the full thing. So I'm using the Call for DMC. I'm doing this on a 20 count, easy count Aida. So this is gridded for me. I think that it's probably going to be hard to see where I worked. I'm not working in like diagonals or anything with this, but I got my 100 stitches done. And so what I started doing is the 10 by 10 blocks that are here. I'm picking the color and then working that color like within the page. So I'll probably end up doing this kind of page by page in a way. But what I decided to do with this one, there's some projects that I'm working on the diagonal because I really like it, because I do like working in the diagonal. But there's some where I'm like, well, let me try a different way of stitching to see if I like it better. So this one, what I'm doing is, because I had all this done, right? And so I took, so I'm just kind of picking stitches, kind of going in this block, working my way down and working them until they're done within the page. And then once I get to the bottom of the page, which I think is about here, then I'll kind of keep going down like this. But if the thread goes into another page, that's fine. I'll still work it. But yeah, so I got my 100 stitches completed, and I am now sitting at 6,959 stitches out of 343,000, and I am at 2.03%. I'm doing it 2/2 full cross too. I don't know if I said that part. All right. Then the last high temperature of the week was number 9. That came up on the 30th with a projected high at 79 degrees. And this one is getting dropped on the floor. This one is Villa Lorna. This is charted by Stitching Moon Designs. She has an Etsy shop. She has a Flosstube channel. She is also stitching this. She is a lot farther along with it than I am. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is a villa over in Norway where she lives. She took a picture of it and did some Photoshop editing magic and turned it into almost like a little watercolor scene in a way. And I liked it, so I got it. Okay, I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana, and probably going to be hard to see this one too because I got 100 stitches on it. Okay, so my stitches were all in this area right here. I worked on this early in the week, so I really don't remember if my before picture was just of this area, but this is where the stitches went. So let me tell you why it looks weird. And what's up with all this stuff going on. So I started this method. I started doing this project, doing the Royal Rose method. That's why there's so many parked threads here. Okay. And I got over here about halfway across, and I decided I didn't like it. I don't like the Royal Rose method because you're still getting lines, and I didn't like that. So I decided to start working the parked threads in. But a lot of these are the same colors. A lot of them are the same colors. Like I think probably 1/3 of the colors that are in here, I was working in this area right over here with these parked threads. So I'm working my way very slowly, kind of irritated, working my way backwards, going back this way, working in all these parked threads. And then once I get all that done, that's how many parked threads I have. I was able to literally make braids out of them, multiple braids out of all the parked threads. So yeah, not really digging the Royal Rose. It's not for me. It's for some people, it's just not for me. So I'm working in those park threads, and then I'm going to figure out a plan of attack after that. And I might change my mind about how I'm working in the park threads. Maybe next time I work on it, I'll come over here and I'll start working over here. I don't really know. Because not going to lie, I'm getting kind of irritated just working in the same spot for the past like few weeks. But I am currently sitting at 10,503 stitches completed out of 20,000. Nope, 203,040. I am at 5.17%. So there is that. Okay, so that was the high temperatures. Now for the lows. I only had 4 projects to work on for the low temperatures because it was a lot of repeats. So the first one to come up for the low temperatures was the number 3. And this one actually only came up one time, and this is Sugar Cookie House by Mill Hill. This had a projected low today of 43 degrees. We're getting a little bit of a cold front. But Sugar Cookie House by Mill Hill, I'm using everything that came in the kit. And so this only needed 100 stitches. And this is where I'm at with it. So I actually started, I don't remember where all my stitches went. I do know I started working in some of the beads here. I was saving the beading for last because the beads kind of all come mixed together in little baggies. But I was able to grab it. Okay, so I was trying to figure out a good method for my bead storage, okay? And then I remembered I used to diamond paint. I don't really do it anymore, but I used to diamond paint, and Delio is missing out of it because I'm using them, but I used to use one of these to store all of my little drills. I would put the sticker that came with the sticker sheet, I would put it on the top there so I would know which one it was, but this is what I was storing all my drills in, and I was like, you know what? I can use this to store my beads in. Ding, ding, ding. So they're out because I have them currently in my projects. Well, the only one I've done this with so far is this Mill Hill. So I might have to show it like this. So I got my little deals, and I opened up one of the bags and I poured some of them out and I separated them. And so I wrote the bead number according to the chart. I wrote the number on there in Sharpie. So I was able to, I was trying to show you the color. I can't show the color. Oh my God. So I was able to get some of the beads. I did green. You can't see that. What am I doing? Green, orange, and purple. So I got some of the orange beads in on the little entryway down here. But now I'll be able to start putting some of the beads in. And there's like one color. This is a thread. It's not a bead right there in the center that I missed when I was stitching with that color before, and it's really annoying me. I might have to fix that next time. But yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and then when the project is done, I can just stick it back in the deal. So that's cool. So that got 100 stitches. I think there was something else I was gonna say. No? All right. Hold on one second. Let me put this over here. Okay. So then the next piece that came up was the number 4, which is Merry Christmas. This is a kit from Artiste. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. It was designed by Cooler Design Studio. And this came up twice. Let me see. Number 4. I said twice, I'm looking for the number 2. On the 27th and the 29th, both of them had projected lows of 64 degrees. So I'm using everything that came in the kit. So this got 200 stitches on it. And I am currently working in the T, which is the snowman here. So I think all of the cross stitching is done in his head. I got both of his arms done. I'm working on, what is that in his hand? Is that a bird? What is that? No, it's a heart. I'm really bad at figuring out what these little things are. I thought when I was stitching, I thought this was like an angel head. It's not. But this is a heart. So I got both of the arms done, and I started cross stitching the heart right here. But I got the scarf, I think, almost completely fully stitched. I think the scarf, this little bow tie, maybe, whatever that thing is done. So I just got to finish him. No, there's something that goes right there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm working on him. So he got 200 stitches. So that's exciting. It's really cute. I really love that piece a lot. Like, a lot. I really, really love it. Okay, so then the next one was the number 6, which is Ocean's ABC. And this is by Design Works, designed by Krista Hamrick. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This piece, I have a few different ones that are like this ABC thing, and I really like them. Like, they're fun. That's all I gotta say. They're fun. I'm using everything that came in the kit. My Christmas ABC has beads in it. This one does not. This is just floss. So number 6, the projected lows on the 28th. Oh, projected low on the 28th was 66 degrees, and the projected low last night, the 2nd, was 46 degrees. So this got 200 stitches on it. And I am working on the goal block, the G. And so I did the gray in his tail here. I did some back stitching. So I got the birds in right here. I got the bird in here. I got some of the back stitching done around the G. I started bringing this up and across. Started back stitching the goal himself. I did some of the sand down here. It's a lot of the same color right here. So I was kind of going like, I was trying to figure out my place for the white here because I didn't want to like do the wrong thing. So I ended up having to do this instead. But my plan was to do a strand of this, a strand of white, a strand of the blue. Just kind of bouncing between, and then like a strand of the back stitching when I could. But these 3 are done, and I'm working on this one right now. So I'll keep working on this block until it's done before I move on to the next one. But yeah, so it's got 200 stitches on it. I'm happy. So there's that. And then the final temperature was the number 9. That came up 3 times. On the 30th and the 31st, the projected lows were 59 degrees. And oh, wait. Yes. Okay, never mind. I thought that I only saw it twice. Never mind. I missed one. Okay, so the 30th was 59 degrees for a low. The 31st was 59 for a low. And January the 1st had a low of 49. There we go. I was like, oh my God, did I completely mess that up? No, I didn't. Okay. This one is Cupid's Cafe by Sugar Stitches. So this needed 300 stitches to get this goal done. I got the 300 stitches completed. I'm doing it with the call for DMC on a 28 count baby pink even weave that looks white whenever I show it on camera, but it is pink. It is a very, very pale pink. So you can see the pink in person, but when it's on camera, it looks white. But I got the 300 stitches done, and I realized how close I was to finishing it. So I just kept going. I did 344 stitches and got this thing completed. You guys voted on this because you said, let's get this thing done. And I kept saying, this is not as close to a finish as you think it is. And apparently I was incorrect because it was close to a finish. So it only took 340, actually, wait, hold on, I got to correct myself. 350 more stitches plus the whatever it was before. Because I realized I was showing a picture of this to my coworker today at work. And I was showing her and I was like zooming in so she could see it. And I realized that these rosebuds over here were missing a stitch. And I was like, son of a bitch. So before I started filming, I threw in 6 more stitches. So it was actually 350 stitches I did. But yeah, so I got this done. I gotta finish. So I actually, well, I'm counting this as a finish for the 28th. That's when I finished it. Was it the 28th or the 29th? I don't remember now. It's in my computer. It's on my new planner, which I have a video of, my new cross-stitch planner that I'm using on my computer. But I don't remember what day it was. It was, actually, yeah, I don't, it was over the weekend. I know that. So even though technically I finished it today, because I had to add those 6 stitches, I'm still counting it for the day that I said I got it done. But yeah, so this got completed, which means that you guys need to vote for a new temperature number 9. We'll go over that in a few minutes. I got to finish showing all my stuff because I'm not done. But wait, there's more. But yeah, so got to finish. How exciting. Got one final finish in before the end of the year. Okay, so that was all my temperature stitching. Okay, next up is my weekly stuff. Okay, so first up is my whip of shame for the month of December. So my whip of shame, if you are new, like I was saying earlier, I have a total of, oh wait, I have it back here. I did not number them. 15 projects that are over 10 years old. Well, really, it's 14 projects that are over 10 years old and one that I hate stitching on so much that I thought that I had it longer than I did. But anyway, I have you guys vote about midway through the month between 2 of them. And you guys vote, and whichever one wins, that becomes the whip of shame for the following month. And my goal is to do 100 stitches a day on it with, so however many days are in that month, that's how many stitches I need to put in on it. So the month of December was the 3 Bird Watchers by Dimensions, designed by Martha Edwards. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am using everything that came in the kit. So cute. It's really a cute piece. Okay, so my numbers were off last week. Tina oh so kindly pointed that out to me. Left me a comment and said, hey, your numbers are wrong. You're 200 stitches short of where you said you should be. And I double checked her math, and sure as shit I was. So I was supposed to do 955 stitches to get my 3100, and she pointed out my incorrect math, and I realized she was right. And so I actually needed to do 1,155 stitches, and I did. I did 1,157 stitches to end everything off. I am going to be showing you the beginning of the month photo, not the one from last week. So the beginning of the month photo should be showing up right here. And my grand total is 3,000. where is it? 3,102 stitches, I think. It looks like a lot more progress because when I do the half crosses, it takes 2 of them to count for 1 stitch. I went back to doing that. I didn't do that in the month of November, and I did not like the lack of progress doing the half stitches. So I went back to counting 2 half stitches is 1 full cross. So a total of 3,102 stitches on this. Got a lot of that side done there. This is all done. I got this one completely filled in. And, well, up to that point. I think there's more right here. I was working on that too. I got all of, like, I was working all in this area. I got the bird cross-stitched completely. I started back stitching, but there's still some more of like the sill, the windowsill that needs to kind of come in around him. It doesn't get filled in around him completely. It's just like scattered, the kind of how this is. But there's still some more right here. So I didn't cross back stitch his body yet. But I did do a couple back stitch lines on the upper window portions up here. It's not all completely like, you know. So I did what I could in these 2 windows up here. But there's still another color I have to put in. But anyway, and then I was working on this area down here as well. So almost to the bottom of the pattern, I think it goes down, my working copy ends right about here, but I think it goes down to about there. About there. But yeah, so I got my 3,100 stitches in on this. And I made a rule that that the whip's a shame, because usually by the beginning of the month I'm all gung-ho, like, yeah, this is great. And then by the end of the month I'm ready to throw it through a window, which is why I've had them for so long. And so I made it a rule that once it gets picked, it cannot get chosen again for 4 months. So this will not be eligible. It may come out for something else if I feel like working on it. But this will not be eligible to be a whip of shame again until the month of May. So that might be the last time you see it for like half a year. Okay, and then my new whip of shame for the month of January is in this project bag here that my mother made me. Central Perk. Because I love the TV show Friends. Love it. There's cat hair all over this thing. Freaking cats. Whip of shame for the month of January. You guys voted. I hate you all. Whole Lotta Latte by Dimensions. This is the piece that I thought was 10 years old, and it's not. I just bought it and like before like the copyright was updated. I started this like maybe 4 years ago. I started it after I started doing Flosstube. I love the piece. It's really cute. I just hate working on it. I don't know why. It's not the fabric and it's not the colors. I just, whenever I have to work on it, I'm like, oh God, I don't want to work on this. So now I have to work on it because you guys said I need to. But anyway, I need to do 100 stitches a day on this for the month of January. So a total of 3,100 stitches is what I will need. I did 215 stitches. I did some of it down here in the saucer. I brought the pink border down and finished off some of finished off the thread in this brown up here. And you see I have no more park threads. And then I worked on some of the purple and the purple cup right there. So all the cups are started. This cup is completely cross-stitched. It just needs to be back-stitched. And this cup is completely cross-stitched. It just needs back-stitching and it needs the steam coming out of it. So we will see how close this will get to a finish at the end of the month. I think what I will do is I will, as much as I shouldn't do this, I'm going to save the back stitching for last because I want to see how much stitching I can actually get done on this thing and see where it ends up. And we'll kind of go from there. I know a lot of you guys voted on this to get me to finish it this year. So I think what I will do is I'm going to work on as much of the cross stitching as I can this month. We'll see where I'm at with it. And if it truly is very close to a finish at the end of the month, then I might I will probably put it into the lineup for the technical stitches on Great British Bake Off to get it completed. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so then my non-full coverage piece for the week. Oh, for the new people. So I have all that stuff, right? And then on top of that, I decided to torture myself even more. And I have I have 5 of my non-full coverages that are not in like, well, I'm starting the year off with not having them in Monopoly or Temperature. And my goal for these is to get 4,000 stitches in on them. And so my non-full coverage for the week is from the Year of Gnome Stitch Along from, I think, 2020 from Cross Stitch for Everyone. This is the June gnome. And this is what he is going to look like when he is done. And I'm doing him with a called for DMC on a 1/1 full cross on a 28 count Monaco, white Monaco. And this is where I'm at with him now. So I did 204 stitches, and I am now sitting at 709 stitches completed out of 4,672. I am at 15.18%. And when I get the 4,000 stitch goal on this, I think it's only going to be about 100 stitches left to finish it off. Because when I pulled this for the first time, so this will be a finish once I hit the goal basically. Because when I pulled it out, like this was the first time I had worked on this since I started my plans. And it was at 505 stitches, and there's only 4,672 stitches. So it was like 160 something stitches after that 4K is hit, and it'll be done. So I'll probably just do that extra and call it a day. Okay, so so that was my non-full coverage. My full coverages, what I did in December is I went through all of my full coverages that I already have started, and all of the ones that are less than 1%, I have them written out somewhere, not in this book. All of my full coverages that are less than 1%, I want to rotate through them to get them to 1%. So I have 5 of them that I'm kind of just like picking from a basket and just picking one every week to work on. So all of their goals are different. And once they hit 1%, they will come out of the running. I think I have 18. Yeah, I had 18 full coverages that are less than 1%. So the 5 that I'm rotating through, once their goal gets hit, it will come out of the running and it will get replaced with something else. So the one that I worked on this week was Winter Cookie Party. This is artwork is by Amy Stewart. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I got the max color version. It's 700 by 501. It has 240 colors, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I got this because it reminds me of every year when I bake cookies with my mom at Christmas time. Our cookies don't look that good though. Like these have got like cutouts and frosting and decorating. Ours don't look that good. We do like the scoop and plop cookies. They taste really good, but they don't look that good. But anyway, okay. So, I don't remember what my original goal was. Well, actually, I can just look at this and do the math real quick. So the board that this is on is actually facing me right now. But my current goal to get this to 1% was 3,007 stitches. I did not get that much. This was the piece that I worked on today before I started filming so I could have a nice completely filled out board. I got 150 stitches on this. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross with the call for DMC on a 32 count easy count Lugana. And so, like I said, I did 150 stitches on it. It's probably going to be hard to see because it is a lot of really light colors that I was working on. So yeah, but I got 150 stitches on it. I am now sitting at 650 stitches completed out of 350,700, and I am at 0.19% complete. So there is that. All right. And then next up, I got 2 more whips to show. Next up is actually not really, well, now it's a whip, is my new start for the week. So my new starts, I have a bin completely jam-packed full of projects that are ready to be started. And every week until I hit 5 of them, I'm going to pull the bin out. We're going to pull a project out and see what it is that I'm going to start. And my goal for these new starts is to get 3,000 stitches. Once they get 3,000, they get pulled out of that rotation, and I replace it with something new. So my new start for the week is from Stony Creek Collection. This is called Let It Snowman. I'm doing it with the called for threads on a 2/2 on a 28 count Crystal Hermosa. I have no idea who dyed the fabric. It's all DMC except for that red heart that is Weeks Dye Works Cayenne, which I have some. So just when I get to the heart, I'll just pull it out of Dreaming of Autumn Leaves and do those stitches. Okay, now let me remember. Okay, so I did 200 stitches on this, and that is where I'm at with it now. Well, that is where I'm at with it. It's a new start. So what I ended up having to do, because the snowman is all like basically mostly white, and I didn't want to lose my place. So what I ended up doing is I made a copy of the pattern. So I had a working copy, right? And I figured out where the middle block was going to be and where the middle stitch was going to be. And so I ended up doing 100 stitches in that block, which is right here. And then I highlighted the entire block, and then I moved to the block next to it and started working on that. And so holding it back here, that's what I ended up doing, like that, so that I don't lose my place. Because like I said, all of this is all white, like all this. And then a different color doesn't start until like over here. So it's like you could very easily lose your place if you are not marking where you're stitching. So that's what I did. And as much as I hate stitching with white, it's not too bad so far. I'll probably hate it as I get further along, because I just hate stitching white. I don't know why. Okay, final project, Honeymoon Sunset. So we're moving on. So that was all my weekly stuff. Last piece is from my bake-off stitching. So I have a main project that I do stitches on for the Great British Bake Off. Just a very brief rundown. I pulled snippets from Jessie Marie over at Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She is doing bake-off stitching as well. She created the game for the stitching game for bake-off. She created 2 different versions. I took one version was a monogamous version, one was bunch of whips version. I took elements from both of them and combined them into one. So I have my main stitching piece, and which is where I have stitches, a stitch count assigned to all of the bakers. If they get eliminated, if they or if they are a star baker, their assigned stitch count goes onto my main piece. Any handshakes that are received from Paul Hollywood, each handshake is an additional 500 stitches on my main piece. And then in the middle of the episode, there's technical bakes. There's a technical bake, and that is rated from worst to first. So my technical bakes, I have a close to a finish whip assigned to everybody that has an odd stitch count, like 100, 300, 500, and then one assigned to the even stitch count, 2, 4, 600s. And then whoever came in first, whatever their assigned stitch count was, that piece gets the number of bakers times first times 100, and then whoever came in last, that piece gets number of bakers times 50, because I think we're at that. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I didn't do technical stitches this week. I already had them done last week. I'm currently currently on week number 7 of the recent season that just ended. So I'm not done with it yet. I already know who wins. I went ahead and watched all the episodes, but I'm working on week number 7. I worked on week number 7, and my main piece for honeymoon is Honeymoon Sunset for Bake Off. I needed a total of 2,500 stitches on this for week number 7. Last week I did 1,000, so I still needed 1,500. I ended up, because I play Health Stitching on Facebook, I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. Oh my God, hold on. I didn't even show you what it's going to look like. Okay, let me back up a second. Honeymoon Sunset is charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It is 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. So I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. So because I'm doing it in tent stitch, for me to count things for my cross stitching games, I need, basically, if I need 100 stitches for something, I need to do 200 on Honeymoon Sunset because it's half cross. So half of the it takes twice as many stitches to count for regular full crosses. All that to say that because I was playing an event in Health Stitching, I needed an even stitch count. So I ended up dumping my bag on the floor. Now all my projects are on the floor. I ended up doing 1,600 stitches. And this is where I'm at with it now. So I ended up converting this to, I'll show the whole thing, because I always do that every week. I show the whole thing, but this is where I'm working. I ended up deciding to do 2 diagonals at once because now we're getting into the really fun stuff and I wanted to see it faster. So I'm doing 2 diagonals at a time now. And so the gazebo part has all been stitched and I am now getting into the house. I mean, I had the house when I was right there, but just that little corner. And then the chimney with the smoke coming out of it. But next time this comes out, I will be getting into more of the house. I got some of the house done right there too. So I got 1,600 stitches on it. Let me say my numbers because I got to stand up for this. I am now sitting at 216,267 stitches done out of 563,981, and I am at 38.35%. My goal is to get this to 50% by the end of the year. If I can get this increased by a percentage every month, I will hit it. So for the month of January, I just need to get this to hit 39%. February, I need to get it to 40%, etc., etc. So here's the whole thing. This is why it's like, if you've never seen it before, oh my God, I can't even like show it properly. I worked all over the place on this. So I started up here in the tree from hell. This confetti is no joke, but I freaking hate palm trees. I can't stand them, but I love the beach scenes. So I gotta kind of take them. I have to accept them. I have to live with them. I mean, I live in Florida too, so I deal with palm trees every day. But I can't stand them. They're so ugly. Like all this brown down here, these are all dead palm fronds. Like how ugly. But it looks really good. It looks really, really good. So anyway, I've worked in the middle down here where the sailboat's coming in. I've worked across the top in the sky, which looks really, really good. This was when I converted it into a diagonal, and I've been working in the upper right-hand corner. So that'll be exciting because I'm going to get a lot of this house completed. And then once I get up in here, we're going to get like most of that top of the lighthouse done. So that'll be exciting. And now I've worked down in the bottom corner down here. And I don't have any of the bottom part down there done, but I've also, this palm tree here, I'll show my shirt in a second. I just realized I didn't show my shirt. Palm tree, I've worked down the tree trunk. I don't care about these threads right now. The tree trunk here, and then I worked down in the bottom corner there. So that's exciting. And so this is the bottom of the diagonal that I'm working in right now. That's the bottom of the diagonal. And that's the bottom of the piece right there. So that's super exciting. Once I get, and I counted it out, so I'm doing like double diagonals. I'm doing 2 at a time. So I counted it out, but I had to like scroll because I can only zoom out so far and still see the diagonal lines. So I had to like scroll down. So if I counted it right, I think it's like 6 more sets of double diagonals, and I will have hit the diagonal will be down here. I mean, the stitching is done here, but 6 more diagonal sets and it'll be down here, which means that everything will stay the same, I think. Like lengthwise, the diagonals will stay the same until my diagonals hit the top corner. And I am working my diagonals all the way across the piece. So by the time the diagonals hit this top corner here, all of this is going to be done. How exciting is that? Okay. Okay, that's my big piece, and it's my favorite whip. I love it so much. Okay. So those are all of my whips. I'm going to break for a minute, kind of clean up my little mess over here. I need to grab my baskets and grab my boards so we can update them, and I'll be right back. Okay, all right, so let's update my boards first. All right, not gonna lie, kind of breaking like this is a lot easier. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is update the temperature board. Pay no attention to the ring lights. Okay, so for the high temperatures, I'm like, oh, let me break so I can be more prepared and more organized. And what do? I forget to take the cap off of my marker. Oh, did I get the project boards yet to cross stuff off as it gets completed? No, I haven't. I'll have to do that next time I go to the store. And then we'll have to add the 2 finishes I've had since I started the new plan, Skippy Kaye and Cupid's Cafe. And then we have to also cross them off of the list of active whips. So I'll write all the active whips out and then we'll go ahead and cross them off. So I'll try to do that by the next video so it doesn't get too crazy. Okay, so temperature whips. I was trying to get this so that let me move the ring light over here. Does that help? Not really. Sort of. If I angle it like this, we'll be okay. All right. Temperatures. First one to be updated. Let me move this down. First one to be updated is Hot Cocoa Gnome. I did 100 stitches on that. Nope. Yeah, I did 100 stitches on this. So this is going from, so my temperature whips, if you're new, I have goals of 2,000 stitches. Once I hit 2,000, they will be replaced with something else. So we're counting down from 2,000 in this column over here. The first column is how many stitches I've completed. I have them numbered 1 to 10, but I have their assigned temperatures in green so I don't get too thrown off. So hot cocoa gnome, I've done 100 stitches. So this is going from 100 to 200. And the goal is dropping from 1900 down to 1800. And then Artist Kitchen got another 100 stitches. So this is going from 400 to 500. And the goal is dropping from 1600 down to 1500. Let me see, Cherry Blossom got worked on for the first time. It got 100 stitches. So this goal is dropping from 2000 down to 1900. Stitcher and Adventure, Harry Potter Stitcher and Adventure for Lachlan. This got 100 stitches. So this is going from 200 to 300. And the goal is dropping from 1800 down to 1700. White Tiger Ghost got another 200 stitches. I feel like I'm rubbing off the ink on the bottom part down here. White Tiger Ghost got another 200 stitches. So this is going from 300 to 500. And the goal is dropping from 1700 down to 1500. Patchwork Quilt Room also got worked on for the first time since I started the new plans. So this is 100 and the goal is dropping from 2000 down to 1900. And Villa Lorna got another 100 stitches. So this is going from 200 to 300. And the goal is dropping from 1800 down to 1700. So that's exciting. All of my high temperatures have now been worked on at least once. Let's move down to the lows. Did I mess up? A little bit, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so now for the lows. These are the ones that are viewer's choice. Let me see. Sugar Cookie House got, oh my God, another 100 stitches. So this is going from 100 to 200. I just started doing these, like not the last floss tube, but the one before. So that's why they're so far behind. So the goal is dropping from 1900 down to 1800. And then Merry Christmas got another 200 stitches on it. So this is going from, oh my God, it's at number 5. I'm looking at it from an angle, so it's hard for me to see. Merry Christmas got another 200 stitches on it, so it's going from 100 to 300. And the goal is dropping from 1900 down to 1700. And then Ocean ABC got worked on for the first time. So, and it got 200 stitches, right? Yeah, it got 200 stitches. And the goal is dropping from 2000 down to 1800. And Cupid's Cafe got 350 stitches because of those 6 I had to add. So this is now at 450. And the goal is dropping from 1900 down to 0 because it was a finish. What? Yeah. So, yeah, that's exciting, huh? Okay. So we will need to figure out we'll talk about this one in a little bit, but we're going to need to replace that. Okay. Next up is the Monopoly update. So, for Monopoly, if you are new, because I get new subscribers every week, this is why I go over this every week. If you are new, I have this is the properties board. So I have all of the properties listed in green. Their assigned projects are listed in black. The stitches completed on them so far since the game started are in this column here. My goal is 4,000 stitches on them. So once they hit 4,000, then they will get replaced with another whip because I have over 200 of them. Okay, so the ones that need to be updated on this board are Unicorn. So number 9, Unicorn for St. James Place. I did 100 stitches on it. Once these tokens pass go and we can start purchasing properties, the stitch counts are going to increase. So it's not going to be 100 stitches like, 400 times. Okay, so Unicorn got 100 stitches on it. And so the goal is dropping from 4,000 to 3,900. And Poltergeist Pirates also got 100 stitches on it. So this goal is dropping from 4,000 trying to get the eraser crap off. There we go. 4,000 down to 3,900. And Mr. Cardinal also got worked on. This one got 100. Yeah, okay. I was making sure it was still in frame. Mr. Cardinal got 100 stitches. And so this is dropping from 4,000 to 3,900. And Stitcher's Paradise Salve down here. This was the one that had the community chest card to do 200. So this is actually going to be 200 down here. And the goal is dropping from 4,000 down to 3,800. So there's that board. The corner is like poking me in the shoulder. I still didn't show you my shirt. Let me do that real quick because I keep forgetting. This is my shirt that my mom gave me. It says, "That's what I do. I cross stitch and I know things." Yeah. Okay. Next up is the second Monopoly board. This one is all of the railroads and utilities and the corners. And then I have 4 community chest cards that give me 4 different new starts other than the ones that I pull. And so those will be listed there. And all of them have a goal of 4,000 stitches. So the ones that need to be updated on this is the corners. So my jail piece, Rocky Point. This one got another 200 stitches on it, so it is going from 200 to 400. And the goal is dropping from 3,800 down to 3,600. And then the other piece that I need to update on here is my free parking, which is Dreaming of Autumn Leaves. This got 300 stitches on it. So this is dropping from 4,000 down to 3,700. And like I said, as this stuff gets their goals done, they will get replaced with something else. Okay. Board number 4. I have 4 big boards and then 1 small board. Okay. This one is my weekly polls, and then at the bottom is Honeymoon Sunset. So my full coverage to get it to 1%, as you can see, I got 5 that I kind of like draw out of a basket, and they all have different stitch counts because they all have different stitch counts that would get them to 1%. So Winter Cookie Party is the one that I worked on this week. I did 150 stitches, so this is increasing from 300 to 450. Oh, I dropped my eraser. 300 to 450. Hang on. Oh, okay. And the goal is dropping from 3,007. Down to cat hair. 3,007 down to 2,857. So once these hit their goal, they will get replaced with another full coverage piece. Okay. My non-full coverage, my goals are to get 4,000 stitches on them. And the one I worked on this week was Year of Gnomes June. I did 204 stitches on it. And so my goal is dropping from 4,000. I did the 4 stitches because I think I was finishing a thread. Let me see. Dropping from 4,000 down to 300, 700. I said that wrong. 3,796 stitches. Okay. My new starts. I went ahead and wrote Let It Snowman on here. I did 200 stitches on him. So my new starts, I have a goal of 3,000 stitches. Once they hit that 3,000, they will get replaced with a different new start. Okay, so 3,000, and the goal is dropping to 2,800. So I have one more week of pulling a new start, and then it will, actually, no. We'll go over that in a minute. But yeah, so anyway. And then my big, Anyway, my big goal, Honeymoon Sunset, get it to 25% by the end of 2025. I did the math. This is how many stitches it's going to take to get to, well, this is counting down. I forgot to write down how many it originally was. But I'm tracking how many stitches I'm doing, and we're counting down how many. So my stitch count, I did 1,600 stitches on this. So it is increasing from 2,806 to 4,406, and my goal is dropping from 6,700. My goal is dropping from 67,324. My God, learn how to talk. Down to 65,000. $724. Was that right? I mean, I used a calculator. I didn't math it in my head. I have it written down over here. I think because I said 7, yeah, it was 67,000. Anyway, I used a calculator, so if that's not right, you guys will let me know. I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, it just doesn't sound right, I think, because I said 7. Okay. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, and then my last board currently has 5 projects on it. I'm leaving Yippee Kite. So these two are my technical stitches for Bake Off. This one was my Whip of Shame for the month of December. This was Yippee Ki, which I finished. I'm leaving it there until I remember to grab a project board to write my finishes on. And then this is my new Whip of Shame for the month of January. So we're going to be updating 2 of these. 3 Bird Watchers went from 1,945. I did 1,157 stitches. So I am now at 3,102. This 966 was my original thought that I needed. It was actually not right. And this goal is done. Not done as in the piece is finished, but just done for the goal. And then a whole lot of latte. I have a goal of 3,100 stitches because there are 31 days in the month of January, right? Yeah, 31 days in the month of January. So I have a goal of 3,100 stitches. I have done 215 of them so far. So my goal is dropping from 3,100 down to 2,885. So there is that. Hey. All right. So that's those. That's my boards. Okay. Next up, we are going to pull out a full coverage and non-full coverage for the week. If I worked on it in the past week or two, I am leaving it to my discretion if I work on it again or if I pull something else. because we are not going to have a repeat of last year where I kept pulling out Home Sweet Home and worked on it every week for like 5 weeks straight. We're not doing that mess again. So it is my discretion if I need to replace it with something else if I've already worked on it. Because I didn't go through these and pull out the ones I've worked on recently. Okay. Oh, I have not worked on this one, so it doesn't matter. My full coverage for the week will be day to night North America. And then my non-full coverage for the week is going to be didn't I work on that recently? I feel like I did. I'm gonna replace it. We're doing something else. I just worked on that like not this week, but last week, I feel like. If this is Year Gnomes June, I'm doing something else too. Oh, no. Coffee Gnome. I have worked on that, but I feel like it might not have been recent, so we'll go ahead and do that one. Okay. So that is those. Okay, now what I'm going to do is we are going to jump to the next clip and play a round of Monopoly. So be right back. Okay, so let's play a round of Monopoly. If you would like to play along at home, there are multiple different ways that you can play. So I play with 4 tokens. I play on a regular Monopoly board. I made up different community chest and chance cards to kind of be a little bit more stitching related. And I have a whip assigned to every property, and then I have 1 assigned to free parking, 1 to go, and then I have 2 assigned to the jail corner. 1 is for when someone is in jail, and 1 is for when somebody lands on jail, but they're just visiting because they're not, like, they're just passing through, right? And yeah, so if you wanted to play, you could, if you have enough whips, you could also have whips assigned to every property like I do, or you could pick one of the tokens and just do whatever the assigned stitch count is for that token. I know that some people will pick a token and then they will have multiple whips, like according to side 1, side 2, side 3, or side 4, or they will have whips assigned to the colored properties, like 1 for the orange properties over here, 1 for the red properties that are over here, etc. So in the description box, I will have the location where everybody ends up with the side of the board, the color of the property, and the total amount of stitches that they need to do. So first up is the cat. The cat is over here on St. James Place, and I'm using my dice. I'm going to say this every time. Andrew, the runner stitcher, cross stitch these. Pay no attention to my dry ass wrinkly hands, my old lady hands. But Andrew, the runner stitcher, cross stitched these and made these for me, and they are freaking adorable. I love them, and I am so lucky that he made these for me. Okay, so first up is the cat. So the cat rolled a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he landed on Indiana Avenue, and this is still the cat's first time around the board. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to spread these out. So first time around the board is just 100 stitches until they pass go, and then they will start purchasing properties. So that was the cat. The dog is down here in jail, down here in the bottom corner. He is in jail. So we're just going to roll and see if he gets doubles. This is the first time that we are rolling. He got into jail last round. So this is the first time. If he does not roll doubles, I have to do 200 more stitches on the jail piece. If he does roll doubles, he gets out and he moves forward. He does not roll doubles. Let me see. I can't think of how I want to say it, so I just wrote on here, jail first, no doubles. So I will have to do 200 stitches on the jail piece. All right, let me move him out of the way so he doesn't fall, because I'm going to slide this up because all of my pieces now are up here. Okay, so next up is the duck. The duck is currently on free parking over here. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just sliding this forward. I can't see the middle of my screen because of the phone stand I'm using. So I couldn't tell if you could see that, but that is an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Waterworks. First time around the board, so this will be 100 stitches. And then the last one up is the penguin. 6. Penguin is over here in Kentucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ventnor. Okay, so quick recap. The cat landed, so first time around the board. So cat landed on Indiana. That piece will get 100 stitches. The dog rolled for the first time to get out of jail. It did not roll double, so I will do 200 more stitches on my whip of shame, or my jail whip. Yeah, the jail whip. The duck landed on Waterworks, so that piece will get 100 stitches, and the penguin landed on Ventnor Avenue, so that one will get 100 stitches. So I will stop here, gather some stuff up, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. That's the inside of my closet. Okay, so the reason why I have it open is because there's 2 things I have to pull. One is going to be my new start for the week. The other is going to be, I have one of my bins down here behind this full of whips that are not in any kind of Monopoly temperature. It's just like some of the other whips. I have 2 of those bins. I just grabbed one of them, and I'm going to randomly pull one out to go up against another whip for a replacement for the viewer's choice for temperature stitching. So my new start is going to be, I just have a shit ton of whips in this bin right here. We're going to pull out this one right here. I don't know what one it is. I'm going to put it over there. Okay, so that one's going to go there. And then this bin right here has whips that are not in any kind of deal. I'm just pulling one out at random. That is going to go up against another one. So let me put that there. Pay no attention to my ass. Put that there. That's my Monopoly whips. Let me close this closet. Okay. I forgot something. Hang on. Is this it? Yeah. I guess I didn't really need to pull this out per se because there's nothing to show on it. I could have just shown you the photo. Okay. All right. First up, I'm going to do this first because I know sometimes I lose people when I start talking about my plans. Okay. First up, you guys need to vote against the for the new replacement for Cupid's Cafe. I know it was very sudden. I was not expecting to have to replace it so soon. So what we're going to do is we are going to put the original loser for the number 9, which was Bee Gnome. By Cute Bordery. This was the original number 9. And I'll show you my starting point. This is my starting point for it. This one is going up against, what is it? Oh. Is going again up against Keslin's Christmas with Friends. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is my starting point with it. So I'm not going to do number 1 or number 2 like an ophthalmologist this time because it's just 2 that we're picking from. So I want you guys to vote in the comment section down below if you would rather replace Cupid's Cafe with Bee Gnome or the Christmas piece. I already have a few Christmas pieces in my temperature stitching already, so if you guys want to keep the Christmas theme going, it's totally up to you. But Be Gnome or Christmas with Friends. Which one of these do you want to see replace Cupid's Cafe for the number 9 in the temperature stitching and the viewer's choice one? You will have until next Friday. No, next Thursday. Thursday, January the 9th. Voting will end on January the 9th. So if you're watching this after January the 9th, sorry about your luck. But I will leave voting up for 1 week. Luckily, the weather cooperated and there are no 9s in the low temperatures this week. So I don't even have to worry about skipping a day. So Be Gnome versus Christmas with Friends. You guys vote in the comment section down below. Like I said, voting ends by next Thursday. I film on Thursday night when I get off of work, and I will announce the winner, and that will become the replacement piece. Okay, so the new start that I yanked out is going to be Shining Star. This is from Sam Sarah Design Studio. That's exciting. I like this one. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. It does call for some weeks dye works. But I'm wondering if, let me see, what is it? The star. Oh. I'm almost wondering if I should, I wonder if I should like set this aside and get 1 or 2 of the weeks dye works that would go with this, because yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't care about like all of the weeks, but I do like the look of the words, which is camouflage, which I do not have. So I think what I'll do, I think it's the second time I've done this. Like, no, we're not going to do that one. Hi, Gracie. So actually, I'm going to set this aside, but I'm going to leave it out because I remember to get that floss. So let's just, I have my new start bin over here. I'm just going to pull another one. This one. Oh, this is one of my small kit new starts, not the ones in the advent calendar, a different one. This is going to be a kit from Leisure Arts. It's called Spicy Disaster. It says, I'm not a hot mess, I'm a spicy disaster. Yeah, so we're going to do this one instead. This has everything in the, I'm going to use everything that came in the kit. So it's a 14 or a 16 count white Aida. 14 count white Aida. It comes with a hoop. So I'll probably go ahead and just put the fabric in the hoop. And then that way, when I get done stitching, all I gotta do is like lace up the back and put some felt on the back of it and it's done. So this will be my new start for the week. Okay. Earlier when I was like, I have a new start that I'm going to be doing with Leanne. Well, I don't think she knows. Well, you probably do now, Leanne, because I know you watch me. On January the 9th, which will be the next time I film. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this because I don't know if I'm starting it before I film or after. So I'm gonna go ahead and show it. But Leanne from Small Town Stitches will be doing a library start along, stitch along with the Hogwarts libraries, like from the Cross Stitch Studio. There's a few other people doing it. I know that Yoshi Yoshi is actually the one who kind of like, Leanne mentioned it on her channel and I saw that on there and it was kind of like in one ear, out the other. And then Yoshi mentioned that he was going to start it with her and whoever else was doing it. I do not remember who all is doing it. But I decided, because I already had it ready to go, I just had not started it yet, that I'm going to do it too. So I think it's January the 9th is when this stitch along starts. But it's, like I said, it's the libraries, any library from the Cross Stitch Studio. And I believe Leanne is doing Snape's library. Yoshi said he's going to do McGonagall's library. I think Leanne's doing Snape's. She might be doing Trelawney's. I don't remember. But I'm going to do Snape's library. It's 800 by 800. It has 112 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Again, this is from the Cross Stitch Studio. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. That's what I have pulled this bag out for. So I've got my fabric already. And it is, let me see, who designed it? Digital Artwork Company. And it is a lot of a dark color. $9.39 is the highest color. $9.39 has, so it's a total stitch count of 640,000 stitches, and 231,924 of those are $9.39. That's all one color. Am I going to do it extreme cross country? Absolutely not. What am I going to do? I'm not sure yet, but you know, it's really fun is page 1 is almost, you can't see the symbol, so I don't care. Page 1 is almost all $9.39. So that's a lot of fun. Oh, maybe I could do an upper right-hand corner start. How's that one? That one is also almost all $9.39. How about, let me pull a Stuart and do a lower left-hand corner start. That is also almost all $9.39. Son of a mother. How about a bottom right-hand corner? That one is also a lot of $9.39. What if I start in the middle? What's in the middle? That is not all $9.39, but oh, I don't like to, I really hate doing full coverages from the middle. I might just have to suck it up and do that. But I'm going to do this on a, what count is this? A 28 count easy count Lugana that I bought off of somebody and they have already started a project on it. So I'm going to find a corner. This was somebody else's start right here. So I will, actually they did 2. That's not me. That's from the person I bought it off of. So I will probably, because it's a perfect square. So I will figure out, I'll start up here in one of these corners. Looks like they did some test stitching on it or something. I don't know. That's really annoying though. Anyway. Oh, so that will be my January 9th start. So I'm not sure if I will actually have this started the next time you see me, because that will also be the day that I film. So this might end up being all for nothing that I'm showing you this, because I won't even start it until after my next Flosstube anyway. Right? Calendar. Yeah, it's the day I film my next Flosstube, so I'll probably be starting this after my next video. But anyway, let me see here. All right, so let me put my stuff over here. Okay. My full coverage for the week, to get it to 1%, is going to be Day to Night North America. This is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. Looking for it on Pattern Keeper. I really hope one of the updates at some point this year is going to be the fact that it will sort your charts alphabetically. you have the option to sort it alphabetically. Okay, this is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by Lars Stewart. I will go over dimensions and stitch counts and all that next time I show this, but that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'll go over dimensions next week, and like, I mean stitch counts as in what I'm stitching it on, if it's 1/1, etc. That's my starting point. I'm saying this in case I forget to document it somewhere. I can go back and look at my video and see where I'm at. I'm currently sitting at 1,500 stitches done out of 301,600. I am at 0.50%. To get this to 1%, I will need to do 1,516 stitches. So we'll see how far I get this week. I should probably change this bag. I have it in this little bag. I don't know why, because it's such a big piece. I should probably change it to a bigger bag, but that's okay. It's fine for right now. Okay, then my not full coverage for the week is Coffee Gnome, and this is by cutebroidery.com. And this is my starting point with her. Hang on. Bring that back down. That's my starting point. This one I am working off of paper. I do not have this one in Pattern Keeper. Some of these gnomes I have in Pattern Keeper, but this one does not. And let's see, I still need to do 3,800 stitches to get this to the 4,000 goal. So this still has a ways to go. So we'll see how many I can do on that. Let's see. And then I have a whole lot of latte, which is my whip of shame for the month of January. I showed that already, so I'm not going to show it again. Okay, now let's go to the temperature stitching that I'm going to be doing. So the temperatures starting with tomorrow, because I did today's in the last batch. This is going to be January the 4th, a high of 67, a low of 42. January 5th, a high of 74, a low of 57. The 6th will be a high of 80 and a low of 42. The 7th, it drops back down again, and we have a high of 60 and a low of 36. This is all in Fahrenheit, by the way. I'm not converting to Celsius. The 8th is a high of 61 and a low of 43, and the 9th is a high of 59 and a low of 38. So what does that mean to you guys? That means I showed this with my whip, so I'm not pulling it out again. This is for temperature 0, hot cocoa gnome. This will get 200 stitches. Artist Kitchen, I showed this one already, so I'm not pulling it back out. This is going to get another 100 stitches. Maybe I can actually frog out that window frame. Harry Potter, Stitch Your Own Adventure. For Lachlan, this will get 100 stitches. And since the boys are with their dad this week, maybe I can actually work on his house flag. Patchwork Quilt Room, already showed this one. This is going to get another 100 stitches. And Villa Lorna, which I have already showed, this will get another 100 stitches. Okay, low temperatures. The two, I'll show this one because the reason why I didn't pull those out is because I worked on them all last week. So I just showed them when I was showing you the whips. Okay, Holiday Quaker is number 2 for viewer. This is the viewer's choice, the lows. Holiday Quaker by Lila's Studio. And this will be my starting point. And this is going to get 200 stitches. And, who was it? Somebody had mentioned when I get this motif over here done, they said I should come down here and do this motif and make it like a diagonal. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But this will get 200 stitches. So I might do that. I got to see where the motif over here kind of is, if it's going to be, because I'm trying to do the motifs that are close to where the other motifs are. So I'm not doing too much counting. So I hopefully don't mess it up too much. Oh, I have the cover photo right here. I guess I could see where it's at. So I was actually thinking, I was actually thinking when I get done with this one here, I was debating between doing this one here or coming over here and doing the angel head with the wings, because they're so close to, I don't have to count too terribly far, or even this angel right here, because it's so close. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel, if I even get that motif completed with the 200. I'm terrible at estimating how many stitches are left in something, so I could completely finish that motif and move on to something else within that 200. Okay, and then number 3 is Sugar Cookie House, the Mill Hill kit. This will get 100 stitches. And then Ocean ABC is number 6. This will get another 100 stitches. Reason Someone Smiles is number 7. This is from Emma Congdon's book, Cross Stitch for the Heart. It's out of this book here. I got this on Amazon. She has 4 books total. I have all 4. I do not have stuff started out of all 4, but I have all 4. And I passed right by it. Here it is. It says, be the reason I'm calling it Reason Someone Smiles. These projects don't have names. But that's the one. And that is my starting point. I was complaining when I was talking about this last time, is that the one thing I do not like about her patterns is the fact that when it goes from one page to another, it does not have the shadow overlay of a couple rows or columns or whatever. Like, it doesn't have that gray overlap when it goes from one page to another, and that is really, really annoying. But someone had suggested using a pencil or a highlighter or something to mark, like, kind of like landmarks of where the pages meet up, and that was a really good idea, and I'm probably going to end up having to do that. It's out of a book, so I don't really want to mark the book up, but I mean, it's my book. You know, it's like, oh, it's a book, I don't want to mess it up. It's my book. I can mark in it all I want. And if someone ends up with the book after me, they'll probably be thankful that I marked where the pages meet up, because it's a pain in the ass trying to be like going back and forth, especially on that sun, because that sun goes from one page to another. Okay, and then the last one is the number 8, which is Cookie Time. This is by Soda Stitch. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I do have this in Pattern Keeper, so when I pull, so let me pull it up real quick. Hang on one second. Let me find it in Pattern Keeper, and I can tell you what the progress is on the cross stitching, because of course it doesn't count back stitching. So hang on, I gotta find it. So Cookie Time by Soda Stitch is somewhere in here. If I was a prudent Flosstuber, I would have written all this down ahead of time so I didn't have to do all that. Okay, that's my starting point. And cross-stitching wise, I am currently sitting at 1,342 stitches done out of 15,173. I am at 8.84%. That does not include the back stitching, and I am doing each little deal as I go. So whatever the 100 stitches I put in on this is going to be in this little, what is that? Is that macaroni? Is that candy? Like what is that in the jar? Yeah, candy. So it says it above there, candy. So my 100 stitches is going to go into the candy jar of the cross stitching. Maybe back stitching a little bit. I don't know yet. We'll see how I feel when I get to it. Let me see. So that was all the temperatures. Okay, next up is going to be, let me put these in here. Next up is going to be Bake Off. Okay, So for Bake Off, I have completed week number 7 of the most recent season that ended. When this season ends, I'm going to continue with the Bake Off stitching, but I'm going to go back to season 5. But we still have a few episodes left before we have to worry about that. Okay, so for Bake Off, Honeymoon Sunset is my main piece. The person who came in first place, or the person who got Star Baker. So what I did was real quick, let me go into a little bit of detail about this. Started off with 12 bakers. I did 100 every 100 stitches, 100 to 1200, and I randomly assigned the stitch counts to each baker. I listed them in alphabetical order, 1 to 12, and I did a dice roll, and I was like, okay, 100 stitches is going to go to this person. I did a D12, and I randomly listed them out that way. So even if somebody was playing this exact method, they could have completely different stitch counts because they would have different dice rolls or different stitch counts for these people. So the person who got Star Baker, so I am on week number 8 of Great British Baking Show. Person who got Star Baker had a stitch count of 1,000 stitches, and the person who was eliminated had a stitch count of 800 stitches. So that's 1,800. And then somebody got a handshake, and so that is going to be 500 stitches. Hang on, let me math real quick, because I was doing it differently before. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, so 1,000 plus 800 is 1,800, plus another 500 for the handshake. So Honeymoon Sunset will need 2,300 stitches. Will all that get done by next video? Probably not. I might need to extend this out in between 2 videos. It's fine. It's okay. And then for the technical stitches, the person, so like I was saying before, I used the formula N times, I was using N times 25 and N times 50, but once I hit, what I did for my new plans is once it hits 5 bakers remaining, I bump it up to N times 50 and N times 100. N being the number of bakers remaining. So week number 8, there are 5 bakers remaining, so those numbers got bumped up. So 5 times 50. Okay, sorry, I had my original numbers written out when I was doing the old stuff, and then I changed everything, so I was just having a mental thing of, did I math that correctly? Okay, so the person who came in last place, and then how I determine which whips I work on for those is I have 1 whip assigned to the people that have odd stitch counts and 1 whip assigned to the ones who have even stitch counts. So the person who came in last place in Technical Bake had an odd stitch count assigned to them. And so it was 5 times 50, which is 250 stitches. And my odd stitch count piece is Bake the World by Franny Ritter Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And this is my starting point with it. I'm almost done with it. There is a good chance, because all of the cross stitching is done in the cupcakes. Cross stitching wise, the only thing that's left is the word world and place. I have to fix this bead over here. I could leave it, but it's really, really annoying. So I'm going to fix it. It needs to be down here, not over here. But I need to finish world and place, do the back stitching in both of those words, and the back stitching in these 2 cupcakes. And then it's going to be done. But because of the back stitching, I don't know if, because the beading is completely done now, I don't know if it's going to take 250 stitches because of the back stitching. So we'll see where I'm at 250. I may go ahead, if it's like Cupid's Cafe where it's just a few left to get it done, I may go ahead and just finish it off. But on the chance that I finish that piece before the 250 is completed, I'm going to switch over. I think I said autumn gnomes previously, but I saw this one sitting there and I decided to do this one instead because I found this one before I found autumn gnomes. I had two pieces lined up and I didn't know which one. Before I said autumn gnomes, but now I'm going to do this one instead. This one is, this is a mock-up without the back stitching. This is Grinch Gnome and Company by Maya Stitch. And all I have is this little guy right here in the middle. He is completely done. So what I have left are the Grinch Gnome on one side and the little female chick, the girl, on the other side. So it's like, well, you still have two gnomes, but cross-stitching wise, this piece only has 5,472 stitches, and I already have over 1,200 stitches in on it. So I'm at 22.62% right now. And between this one and autumn gnomes, I mean, those are the closest ones right now that I think I have to a finish. So I was like, it's whatever. So this will be the replacement for Bake the World when it gets done. I feel like it's going to get done this week. That's exciting. I'll have another finish. And then the other, so that was the person who got last place in technical. The first place in technical had an even stitch count. So that was 5 times 100. I had to think about that, which is 500 stitches. And that piece is Calendar Girls September from Little House Needleworks. And that is what she is going to look like when she is done. So she needs 500 stitches. And that is my starting point with her. I don't know if she will get completed with that 500. It's one of those things where I'm not 100% certain if it will get completely done or not. If she gets done and I have stitches left over, let me go ahead and show you my replacement. It's going to be from the same series, Calendar Girls May, from Little House Needleworks. These were from 2014. And this is my starting point for May. She has like no eyeballs right now, so it's, and no like cheeks, so it's like when you look at it, it's like super creepy. Maybe I'll leave that till the end, creep everybody out. But yeah, that's my starting point for May. So whenever September gets done, which will be most likely, it might be this week, because 500 stitches gets you pretty damn far on these things. I'll move on to May. So whatever stitches, if there's stitches left over, then I will go ahead and throw them in on May. But yeah, like September, what I have left on her is I need to do the rest of her pants and fill in the patches. And then her top, like her torso and shirt and stuff and like all this. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if 500 will get her completely done or not. But I think the last time I worked on her, what was it? The last time I worked on her, it was 350. Last time I worked on her, it was 350, and I basically was starting from down here, and I worked up the entire leg. I got the basket, like I got all that with 350. That's why I was like, 500 might get me pretty damn close to a finish, if not completely finished. So we'll see. Keep your fingers crossed that I have 2 finishes next week. Okay. So that's Bake Off. And I need to pause for just a minute because I just realized that I needed to grab something, not for my plans, but stuff I wanted to show you. Hang on. Okay, so let me show you my Monopoly pieces and then I'm going to show you the stuff I wanted to show you. Hang on, I feel like I messed something up here. Okay, so Monopoly. Mr. Whiskers, come here. That's not what I wanted. Monopoly, it's right here. Come here, Mr. Whiskers. I'm gonna go off camera for a second and grab my kitty. Come here, Mr. Whiskers. Oh, come here, my boy. Everybody loves seeing Mr. Whiskers. Say hello, my boy. Hey, Mr. Whiskers. He's my angel face. Oh. Say hello to all of your fans. Hello. Hello. My baby. He's so big. Look how big he is. Oh, covers up my face. I can't see you. He's so big. Oh, Gracie. I'm going to move the camera. Gracie's right there. Just in case. Gracie's right there. Okay. Now I done messed up the camera. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you my son's pillow after I show you my Monopoly. And then I have something else that a fellow Flosstuber sent me. Okay. He sheds so bad. Okay, so the Monopoly. The cat landed on Indiana Avenue. And Indiana is botanical blackwork. This was a free blackwork sale from the Steady Thread from 2022. I don't have a mock-up of everything, but this is the layout that I'm doing. I think when it came out, it was like a mystery. Yeah, I think it was a mystery thing on Facebook. They do one every year. But this is the one I'm doing, and this is the layout that I'm doing. And what I did was, here, let me show you. Oh, shit. I did think about which way this goes. This is my starting point. Look how pretty that is, huh? So I have that layout, right? And I started in the middle. And that one had flowers, and I just picked a color that I liked, and that was 3832. And I think I'm going to stick, I'm debating if I'm going to change the color or if I'm going to keep it that color. I'm not 100% certain. Like in all the other ones that have flowers in them, I may change it to a different color every block. I'm not positive, but I did write down 3832 is that pink color. The green is 904. So I'm going to keep all of the leaves and the block outlines in the 904. So that's my starting point, and this is going to get 100 stitches. I don't know why I was holding that up for so long and talking about that when I'm just showing you my starting point, but whatever. You guys love the long stuff, right? I feel like this is going to be another 3-hour video. Okay. God. Cat hair. The dog was in jail. It rolled for doubles for the first time. It did not get out. So Rocky Point is going to get another 200 stitches on it. Thank God I like that piece, right? Okay. Then the duck landed on Waterworks. Waterworks is... making sure I grab the right one. Waterworks is assigned to Reaching Skyward. This was the Sal from Modern Folk Embroidery from 2023. I changed the colors. I have this in Pattern Keeper. I changed the colors to, I'll tell you in a minute, but that's what mine is going to look like. And my colors are, the blue is 336 and the pink is 917. I'm sorry, I have like, that's one thing I don't like about having him do cameos. on my videos is that because I got to hold him up near my face and then I get cat hair all over me. So the pink this is my starting point. The pink is 917. The blue is 336. I'm starting off at 1,500 stitches done out of 47,789. I am at 3.14%. So that's my starting point. This will get this will get 100 stitches on it. And then the penguin landed on Ventnor Avenue, which is assigned to Halloween Calendar. And this is by Tiny Modernist. I got it on Etsy from their shop. And I do have it in Pattern Keeper. There's a little bit of back stitching in this, but not a whole lot. Let me just find it on here. That's Christmas calendar. Where's Halloween calendar? Did I pass by it? Son of a mother. Like I said earlier, there it is. I deleted some of my finished things out of Pattern Keeper and it like completely threw me off with where everything is. Okay. I love this fabric, by the way. I gotta tell you this fabric real quick. It's from Live and Die LA. It's the color Dusk. It's so pretty. So that's my starting point. I am starting off at 600 stitches done out of 16,842. I am at 3.56%. And it's all DMC. Okay. So that is my Monopoly stitching. That's a lot of stitching I gotta do. But I have no plans other than cleaning my fence. I gotta do that tomorrow. My outside fence. I'm getting like this layer of mildew on it. I gotta clean it off. I think that's about it besides typical housework and stuff. So I don't really have any plans this weekend. So I'm hoping I can get a lot of stitching done. So let me show you let me show you my FFO. This is, I should have shown this in the beginning, but I forgot to grab it. I should have just paused and grabbed it. But this is Yippee-Ki-Yay Motherfucker. This is from Stitchman Darcy on Etsy. He also has a Flosstube channel. And yeah, so I dropped it off with my mom and she turned it into a pillow for him. And look at the little cording on there. And I'll show you the back in a second. The back goes with it freaking perfectly. Look at that. Huh? It's already got cat hair all over it. But that's the back of the pillow. And yeah, so I did the call for DMC. And I did it on a 14 count white Aida. But isn't that cute? So my son is now keeping it in his room. Isn't that adorable? Love it. Okay. I will also, any Flosstubers I mention, I will link their channels down below. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is, no, not the last thing. The next thing I want to show you is Veronica. She is Night Stitch here on YouTube. She has a Flosstube channel, which is why I said she's here on YouTube. She started watching my videos and she's been commenting on like every other video. And so I was like watching her videos and I really like her sense of humor. She's kind of got like this resting bitch face like I do. And so it's like the way she talks sometimes, it's like, is she trying to be funny? Because like she makes me laugh with some of the things that she says, but it's like, does she realize she's being funny or not? Like, it's hard to tell. Like just a couple examples of things that like literally made me cackle when I was watching her. She was showing her whips, and she was showing a mirabilia, and she was just like very, very, I think what made it so funny for me was that she was like kind of deadpan when she said it. She was like showing a mirabilia, and she said, this one is called Veronica, and I got this one because that's my name. Like, and then another thing that made me laugh was she was talking about temperature stitching, like a temperature sal, like an actual temperature piece. And she said, she was talking about different ones that she'd seen and why she didn't like them. And she mentioned the magic potion bottles, which I have that. I have the potion bottle one. And she was like, potion bottles aren't really my thing. I like alcohol bottles. It's like, I'm like, this is like my kind of humor right here. So she makes me laugh. I like her a lot. And so as she was watching my video, she said, hey, I have this kit that I'm not going to stitch. So I was wondering if you wanted it. And I was like, sure, I'll take it. She sent me a picture of it. And so I got a box in the mail. I'm like, why is this box here? So she sent me this. It's similar to those Dolly Mama kits, but this one is Chiclets. It's from Jan Lynn. And it says, misbehave. Isn't that cute? It's so funny. The ones on the back here are like Misunderstood, Motor Mouth, Miss Know-It-All, like some of the other ones that are in this. And, but yeah, so she sent this to me. And she wrote me a note and said that the stuff in it is unused, but there is no fabric in it. But so what she did instead, was she sent me a few different types of fabric. So she sent me some 18 count white Aida, a black 14 count Aida. It's folded up. It's not like this size, but I'm not unfolding it because she went through painstakingly, measured it out, and wrote down what kind of fabric it was, which was very, very cool. This was a white Aida. I might do Misbehave on this if it fits. I gotta do the math and see if it fits. And then she sent me, I think, oh, Veronica, you don't like Aida, right? Is it Aida that you, yeah, she does not like stitching on Aida. So I feel like these came out of like either stuff that she purchased or kits, like either kits or pieces of fabric she bought that she didn't like, because she's mentioned a few times that she does not like stitching on Aida. She likes stitching on like linen or maybe even weave. So she sent me a bunch of Aida, which I don't mind stitching on. I'm good. I don't like stitching on linen. And then this one, I will undo this and unfold it because this is a 14 count Aida that she dyed herself. And I thought that turned out pretty cute. I gotta find something cool to put on this. So yeah, isn't that neat? So she dyed that herself. I thought that was pretty cool. And she sent me this cute little bag, this little sunflower bag, and it's got a little sunflower, what's that, charm thing on it. So yeah, I could always go for more bags. And she also sent me this needle minder here. Doctors, nurses, healthcare, like heroes. I'm a nurse, in case you didn't know. So she sent me that needle minder. And this cute little kitty needle minder. And some needles. So I will link her channel down below. You can go check her out. Yeah. So I don't know when she is going to, I don't know when she's going to see this, because she started watching me from like, she started with videos from like my 2023 whip parade. and she's just been going through watching them one by one. So she hasn't technically caught up to where I'm at currently with the videos. I don't think she's watching my new stuff. So she might not see this until a few months from now. So you know what would be really freaking awesome, because she's been on YouTube for a few years now. I looked, and her first video was like 6 or 7 years ago, but she's been kind of, she in the past, she's been kind of like intermittent with her posting. But you know what I think would be really, really funny, because she has like 700 something subscribers. I think it would be really freaking awesome if you guys could just go subscribe to her channel. I'm going to link her channel in the description box. If you guys just go subscribe to her channel, and then she just gets this sudden influx of subscribers, that would be awesome. She's going to be like, what the fuck? Okay, so that was from Night Stitch on Flosstube. Thank you, Veronica, when you see this 6 months from now. And, oh, she might see it now. I don't know, because I'm going to tag her. So she might see it now. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to show you was a cross-stitch company called, oh, I don't know how to say it, Povitrulia, reached out to me on Instagram and was like, oh, you do beautiful stitching. Would you consider like trying out one of our projects and posting about it on Instagram? And I don't really post on Instagram, but I will go ahead, because I kind of worked it out with them. Like, I didn't make any money off of this, but I was able to get a small little bookmark from them to try out, to test out their kit. Like I said, this is not something I normally do, but I am going to go ahead, and this is going to be an additional project on top of everything, because I did kind of get this for free with their assumption that I would be posting this on Instagram. I'm going to talk about it here too. I did mention I don't really post on Instagram, but I will do a post on Instagram once I get this started. So like I said, this is from Povitrulia. Oh, it's right here, Povitrulia. They have a website, povitrulia.com. I will link all this down below. They are from Ukraine. They have a Facebook page, an Instagram. They have an Amazon store. That's where I got this bookmark. This is Winter's Deer. It's really cute. And they had a few different things on their Amazon store that I really liked. But this was the one I selected. So it came in a kit like this. Actually, let me just kind of open this up right now. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing at the end of my 3-hour floss tube. So this is how it comes, and I'm going to see how much of this I can open up on screen without showing the actual pattern. So it gives directions. Here we go. So it gives all the directions on how to stitch this, and it even includes, yeah, how to cross stitch, and then does it show how to finish this into a bookmark? It does. It gives you instructions on how to turn this into a bookmark. So the pattern is on the other side, so I'm not going to show that. But I will say that the okay, so the floss comes, I like that it's already kind of like on the floss card like this, but the floss comes on this little floss card that's got numbers on it, 1 through 10. And on the pattern side of the fabric, you have your symbols. Let me see if I can do it like this. So you have the symbols on the pattern, and then the symbols correspond to these numbers here, which are the numbers on here. Yep, those match up. So that's cool. I like little to no effort to get this thing started. And it's very small. I mean, it's 100 long by 30 wide. It's 100 by 30, so it's not very big. And the fabric itself comes with a needle. The fabric is only this big. Like I said, it's a bookmark. So yeah. Oh, and it comes with backing fabric too. So that's pretty cool. So it tells you, you start in the middle, blah, 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 blah. And then you sew the bookmark and the back side together. The second piece of canvas is used as the back side of the bookmark. So it tells you how to do it. And it even gives you a demonstration of kind of gives you a little, it's hard to see on camera, but it gives you a demonstration of how to do the edge of the bookmark to sew the backing fabric to it. So that's pretty neat. I do like that. And I will be getting another project from them with my own money, not for free. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, I don't normally do something like that, but yeah. And oh, here we go. There's instructions on how to do the edge. It's a blanket stitch is what you're doing. And then, yeah. So this is really cute. And I really think I'm going to enjoy working on this. Like I said, I really like the design of the bookmark itself. And they have other bookmarks on their Amazon store. I will link their Amazon store down below. I'll probably go ahead and put in all the information regarding their website, their Facebook page, and their Instagram. And I'll link their Amazon store, including this specific pattern down below. I'll probably do this specific pattern in the link. But they do have other stuff, and one of them was actually like a thing that said believe. It was a little bit bigger, so I went with a small bookmark that I could probably very easily get done within, maybe by the next Flosstube. I don't know. Probably not with everything else I have going on, but yeah. Oh, the other thing I got, I don't usually do haul, but it's like sitting right here. I got this Dimensions Petite Gold Collection Petite. It was on sale on Amazon, so I got it. It's on 18 count beige Aida. So this can go into I got to put it in a bag, and this can go into my new start bin over here. And was there anything else I need to talk about? Oh, my chatelaine. I will be doing a video this weekend sometime going over my floss conversions for the center portion of my chatelaine, because I ain't doing the Glorianas. Too much money, too long of a wait. I don't have the time or the patience. I will be starting my chatelaine on January the 13th with Yoshi. So I'm not going to worry about that at this time, like showing it to you. But it's going to be Deep Blue Sea is what I'm going to be starting, and I'm going to be doing it on black fabric. And someone gave me a great tip because the center of it is usually a crystal of some sort, so I was going to block it out by doing like a giant X, right? And they said, you know what you could do, so you know which way is up all the time, because even though it's a mandala, whatever you want to say, it's still sometimes it's like, wait, where am I working at? Because you want your stitches to go in the same direction. They said in that center portion where the crystal goes, you can do an up arrow and floss. So I was like, oh, that's bloody brilliant. That's a great idea. So I'll probably do that, and then kind of like block out like with an X as well, where the corners go, like until you start stitching. So I think that's everything. Oh, actually no. One more thing I wanted to say is I was chatting with Alara, who finally started posting videos. I said it like 5 hours ago when I started filming. She finally posted a whip parade and her new Stitchopoly game, and her first round of Monopoly, like her Monopoly game. And I was talking to her about how she could film her videos, because she's worried about the time it takes, like, the time it takes. I mean, I started filming at I started filming at 8 o'clock. It's now 11:18 p.m. right now. That's a long ass time. And I still have to edit this freaking thing, upload it, and all that mess. So it takes a long time to film. And I was telling her, I said, you know, you should do it vlog style, where you like, you have your phone and you're just like, here's what I'm starting to stitch on. You could talk a little bit if you want to, but you could just say, here's what I'm stitching on. Stop the camera, do your stitching. When you're done, here's what I did. And you could talk about it a little bit if you want or not. And I was telling her about a few different Flosstubers that do vlog style. One of them is I Stitch Birds. Another one is, oh my God, what's her name? What's her name? I Stitch Birds definitely does it. And it starts with a C. Is it Calico Whimsy? Does vlog style too, with her stitching. I will link both of those channels down below. I Stitch Birds, like, I know Laura watches me. Calico Whimsy, I don't think she does. So the poor thing is probably going to be like, why am I tagged in this 3-hour-long video? So, I watch her all the time. I love her. She's probably like, why the hell am I, why am I tagged in this thing? So I was telling Alara about the vlog style videos, and then I saw Darcy posted an update today, and he did a vlog style too, and he said that he got his idea from Emma X Stitch. I'm not linking everybody. Okay, I said I was going to link everyone I talk about. I'm not linking everybody. So you know what? It's going to be like, because I talk about it, because I said them in a sentence. I'm not doing all that. But he did a vlog style update this time, and I really liked it. I liked how he did that. I was kind of debating, since I don't have the boys this week, I was kind of debating on maybe if I should do that. I think what I might do is I might try. If it doesn't work out, then you're going to see a normal Flosstube update from me next Thursday. But I thought maybe while I don't have the kids, I would try out a vlog style where maybe I'll talk a little bit about the project, or at least just show my starting and ending points, because Alara has been doing a vlog style. Sorry to spoil it, Alara, but she's been doing a vlog style kind of film when she does her next update, and she says that not having to do all the before and after photos has been like amazing, or before photos has been amazing. I done spoiled 2 people, Stuart and Alara. Sorry guys, but you love me, so it's okay. We're all friends. So I was kind of thinking about doing that this week and trying it out and see how it goes. If it does not save me any time whatsoever, I'll go back to regular floss tubes. But it's like, this takes up like my entire night. I've been filming for over 3 hours. I haven't eaten dinner yet. I'm hungry. I still have to put all these clips together and edit them and then export them and upload them. I don't have as much to clean up because I've been cleaning up in between breaks. That's why it's been taking so long. So at least I know that it's not going to be a full 3-hour video, because I started filming 3 hours ago, and I had to like set stuff up and take stuff down and put things away and pull stuff out. So at least I know it won't be a full 3-hour video. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking about doing it like that, and then we'll see what you guys think of it. So, I mean, obviously parts of it will have to be like this, like when I update my boards and stuff at the end of the week. But I was kind of thinking for the projects themselves, maybe kind of doing it vlog style like that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You'll see. I guess we'll all find out next week, huh? Okay. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. Bless you, Gracie. Oh, baby sneezed. Bless you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what you had to see and you're not yet subscribed, this is your reminder to hit the subscribe button. Or check, if you love my videos, check and make sure you're subscribed. because sometimes YouTube likes to weed out what they think are like bots, like bot accounts. And yeah, so I think that's it. So take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.